shit. Once again, we're back at it again. We're doing it again. What day is today? It's Friday, November the 14th, 2025. Thank you for joining me once again, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me from the get-go, from the beginning of this little journey, thank you for being a part of my life and letting me be a part of yours, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Toronto, Canada, over there in Vancouver, down south, further, in the United States of the Americas, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Bosnia, Thailand. We'll get to all of it. It is Friday. It is Friday, baby boys, baby girls. We're doing it. Japanese hoes. Japanese hoes. Japanese hoes. Japanese hoes. Japanese hoes. Japanese hoes. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house. Give you some Japanese rolls. Get it off the internet. That's how my Japanese scrolls. What have we been talking about? I don't even know. It's Friday though. Let's begin. Let's get started. Let's have some fun. Internet's been asking questions. I guess the streets are asking questions as well. Some of them were. You wonder if it's for reals or if it's not for reals, but nonetheless, questions are fun. And questions are fun to be answered. So what is the internet asking? What's on everybody's mind? I've heard of this, but I'm not quite sure what you guys feel, how you guys and gals feel about it. They asked, is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Or basically, if I'm unpacking it correctly, trying to read into this correctly, I believe they meant to say is having a boyfriend gay. Is it gay to have a boyfriend? It's what the internet and the streets are asking right now. It's my Japanese hoes, Japanese hoes. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got it off the internet, that's how my Japanese girls. What? Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's not embarrassing, it's gay. Having a boyfriend is gay, but there's degrees and levels to everything. So if you're like, oh, what level of gayness is it? It's not too far into it's somewhere past the mid, close to the end. Because what's the ultimate gayness? I suppose if we're marriage and children, having a family, I suppose, is the gayest thing you could do. Think about it. I think, what do? You got a very normal routine life. You get up, do your thing. Oh, you know how many kids you got? You know, you got a spouse who loves you. Maybe a house, doesn't matter. Maybe a little dwelling you dwell in. And you go to your work, you come back, and they're always there. Not much else happens. I mean, you take a little vacay here. You stuff your face hole with a bunch of food. Make love to your wife, get pregnant again, pay some bills. All in all, kind of gay. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend then? I guess boyfriends are a gateway to husbands. I suppose husbands are innately gay. It makes sense. Marriages, you've seen married people. You've seen them. Beautiful. I love them. Maybe one day I'll be married down the future. Maybe one day I'll be gay like you. If you're married out there, if you're the least embarrassing thing is being single. That's the most least embarrassing thing, I suppose. Keeping your options open, working on your career. I suppose that's the least gay. Because then you'd be out there, you might be getting up to all sorts of business. You might be, one day you might be doing regular everyday activities. They're all putting in the work, putting in the grind, getting that hustle on. But next thing you know, it's them Japanese hoes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got it off the internet, that's how my Japanese squirrels. You might get that. And that's the least gay of all this. So let it be, distinguished. Is it embarrassing? I suppose are there other things that are embarrassing? I mean, I personally don't feel much embarrassment in my life or, shame. It doesn't compute in my mind. But I suppose some people do feel embarrassment in situations, and some people do feel shame for if you are one of these people. Not to say that I haven't in the past or anything, but as you get to a certain point, it's just lesser and lesser and lesser until you just don't give, there's zero fucks to be given about much, except, what really matters outside of that, and that's individualistic for every person out there. So yeah, sense of embarrassment. And if it works for you, do it though. If it works, you know what I mean? This isn't one of those, I'm not here to tell people, or, I don't know how to fucking do much, dude. That's basically get up and just, try your best is one of my mottos. So I'm not here to tell you like, oh, single's the way to do it, or keeping the options is the way to do it, or having a family is the way to do it, or whatever. I think if whatever works for you. But if it's embarrassing, but you like it, do it. Do it. What else could be embarrassing? It could be embarrassing if I don't know what's embarrassing for people in terms of, you could be, what if you woke up and your ass was in place of your face and your face was placed where your ass is? That'd be a little bit embarrassing, I suppose. But then maybe you got a nice ass and it's like, hey, check this out. Instead of your face, it's your ass, and that's maybe a little bit embarrassing. Could be embarrassing if you happen to be like at a urinal waiting to piss, and there's a guy or a few guys, and it's a tiny public bathroom. There's 2-3 guys behind you waiting, and they're waiting for you to piss, and it just get a little bit anxious because it's like now the pressure is on for you to piss. So it's like, oh, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, piss already. You're not saying this out loud. You're saying it to yourself, piss already, and it might not start immediately because you don't feel comfortable, quite as comfortable you normally would if it was an empty bathroom. But now there's like 3 guys behind you, and everybody's like, smacking their gums, and just and that could be a little bit embarrassing. So you start making piss sounds with your mouth, pretending you've already started to piss, but then you got to time it so when you actually do start to piss, you stop actually making the pissing sound with your mouth, so it doesn't seem like there's 2 streams, because that could be embarrassing. Why has this guy got 2 streams? And has that happened to anyone? I mean, not here to brag or anything, but fucking give me a little space, back up a little bit, please. We'll get it going in a few seconds. Jesus. But but then again, I wouldn't even feel embarrassed about that. I'd just be like, I like to take my time. What's with all the rushing, fellas? You turn around and tell them, cock in hand and everything. But that's boyfriends, and I suppose it works for girlfriends too. Girlfriends are, is having a girlfriend embarrassing? I'd say it's probably leaning towards trans at this point. That's how that is. It's not even gay. It's trans. You're basically if you got a girlfriend, you're basically a tranny. So there you have it. But whatever works for you out there. If you're happy with it, do whatever you're doing. Keep it up. As long as your tits are perky, as long as you're ovulating, as long as you're flying a kite, getting hit by lightning, putting the sunroof down, putting it back up, walking on your hands and feet, whatever you're doing, as long as you're getting on all fours and stiffing each other's butts, I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. That's the most important thing, your happiness. God. It could be embarrassing if your boyfriend or girlfriend farts a lot. That'd be embarrassing a little bit. But join them. I suggest you join them and just become a powerhouse of a bunch of tutors out there. Suppose if your girlfriend, or if you get your girlfriend pregnant and she gains a few pounds, if she becomes a little chub, she becomes a little fatty, that's quite embarrassing, dude. It's literally because, a few months ago, people were not out loud, but maybe behind your back, or, they were saying, oh, he's got a hot girlfriend, but now she's chubs. She's a little beluga whale. God, look at her belly. They'll say that inside their head, and that's quite embarrassing for you. If you get embarrassed, and I don't know what it is, but it's my Japanese hoes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got it off the internet. That's on my Japanese squirrels, bitch. It's Friday. What else is going on? I believe there was a female train conductor. Train operator. Conductor, operator. Operator sounds like somebody who operates old school phones and landlines. Operator, connect me to my grandma. Train conductor, operator. Nonetheless, she was caught on camera because everything's caught on camera these days. There's nothing you can do without it being on the camera. So you might as well camera yourself. Put a camera up your rectum. Do it yourself before they do it to you. And this lady conducting a train in San Fran, caught snoozing. Train comes to a screeching halt. Everybody fucking pivots back and forth, and she gets up, and tells everybody to relax, chill. And it was, you should chill. You should relax. Nobody died. That's what she said. That'd be exciting. I'd want that, because these are the times, baby. Enjoy people doing things for you, and sometimes having human error. Because before everybody is eventually getting replaced by things. So enjoy these moments. You're gonna look back 20 years down the line, talking to your grandchildren. You'll be like, oh, you have no idea where people used to do things. Sometimes we have a train operator snoozing on the job and she wouldn't pay attention. Not because she was a female, because she's just a human being and people snooze sometimes. Bitches need that, they need to count them sheeps and cash them Z's. So it's not just a male or female thing, but you wouldn't know anything about a youngin'. You'll say that. The little baby that's chipped, a little half baby, half computer that's just, fucking spitting no ledge at you without actually having to put in the work, which is nice, I suppose. It's instant. But you'll have to tell them that. And they'll ask you about the stories of the olden days. And yeah, I'm defending this bitch right here. I'm defending her. Everybody going to work, if you're not catching some Z's during some part of your, you're not working properly. That's the whole point why we go to work as adults. Why do you even, because you can't be sleeping in front of, especially if you've gone through the gayness and you've got the girlfriend or you got married and now you're trans, you can't catch Z's at home because they don't want a lazy bum. You got to get out there, work, and catch your Z's at work. And that's how it is. Put your head down, tilt the computer on an angle where they can't see your face and just fucking, doze off. Have a little cat nap. Have a little cat nap, baby. Have a little opium nap. You know what I'm talking about. A little tooting, a little bit of napping right there. So do that. Catch them Z's. Whatever you're doing, whether you're in a cubicle, I don't care what you do. If you're conducting a, symphony, fucking catch some Z's. They don't know. You just fucking do one of these and kind of like wander off for a few seconds into the other realm. And then come back. Nobody's the wise. Nobody knows what you're doing, by the way. The fucking conductors, and nobody knows what you're doing. It's a whole Ponzi scheme. Big conductors, dude. Oh, look at my wrists with these sticks. Follow the notes. What are you doing? What does it all mean? This, that, and the other. How would anybody know you got anything right or wrong except the inner circle? That's just the whole thing. We look at a guy with a couple of sticks in his hands, and that's how we know how to play music. Yeah, otherwise you'd be lost without him, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be able to read your notes, right? God, what a scheme. I should have gotten into that business. Maybe I still will. Maybe I'll become a music conductor. Fucking follow these, baby. Follow these sticks right here. You did it wrong, Johnny. Get out of here. Japanese hoes. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got off the internet, that's on my Japanese scrolls. What are you even talking about, dude? But that's, people were like, oh, freaking out. Oh, maybe she shouldn't be snoozing. She has all the right to. So if you're not snoozing at your work for a few seconds at least, good God, what are you even doing? You're not even living. To the police officers, you should be snoozing while you're doing the chasing the bad guys. To the firefighters, snooze. You know what I'm talking? Once you got the hose out and the waters be dripping, dude, that's just basically, which one of us hasn't taken a leak and kind of dozed off into the other realm? It's the same operation, just a bigger hose. The big hose, you know what I'm talking about? Firefighters and them long shafts. That's what they call them. The fellas and the ladies who are into the long wet shafts. That's AKA firefighters. People those who grapple with fire. What else is going on? COP30 was going on and is still going on. No one cares. No one cares. Literally no one cares. Billionaires got up, went to Brazil for the lamest reason you could go to Brazil. What a wonderful, majestic place that I've envisioned in my mind and I've dreamt about to visit and have a blast, basically. Just play a little bit of beach soccer, you know, a little bit of beach volleyball with the Brazilian women's beach volleyball team. Good God. Oh, what specimens. They're fucking aliens, dude. It doesn't matter. The point is that these billionaire lames got on jets. Once again, they flew down to Brazil, and before they did that, they dug up a whole giant highway in the middle of the Amazon. That's what they did. And then they paved the roads and cleared the way, and then they went there and they told the other people who arrived there. I'm glad President Trump didn't go, I think. So that's good. Finally, dude. Somebody just saying fuck all this shit. It's crazy how you be pushing and shoving the indigenous people out of their place of residence and then talking about how we got to do better with the environment and the degrees. I think the temperature is 1.5 and 2.5 and we're all gonna melt. You're gonna melt. Some indigenous folks actually had enough and they bum rushed the gates and they went in there and they protested. I couldn't figure out exactly what they were trying to say because they're indigenous Brazilians is what I heard. I think I know based on, because I do have the gift of reading lips in multiple languages. And if I'm not mistaken, they went in there angrily and, you know, just protest. They say, give us more access to Gladyamadeit. Give us more access. But in, like, you know, Portuguese or indigenous Brazilian, whatever tongue that is, you know, just a lot of clicks and licks, if you know what I'm talking about. But they said that they're like, give us more Gladyamadeit. Why is it only twice a week? They said that as they bum rushed at COP30. What a waste of money. What a waste of money. Give us more gladyamadeit. They said that as they wore their grass skirts and, you know, showed a couple of tits and maybe used their spears to do a little bit of hunting in the city. But nonetheless, I think the main point was that, you know, protect the forest and also give us more gladyamadeit, which I get all of it equally as important. And I know what you're thinking. Having access to this show is probably way more important than saving the forest, and I do agree with you. But it's a little bit of COP30, dude. It's a little bit of COP30. That's a little bit of indigenous titty out there, just doing the right thing. It's crazy because now they'll come into the cities, get exposed to the tech and want to use the tech and then get back, and maybe they'll start digging their own forests. Maybe they'll start, you know, they see the highway now, maybe they'll start creating a road. Who knows? All I know is you're gonna melt. You should have melted 30 years ago. You're still here. What else is going on, man? I heard about this one and I gotta just say it's time to hey, can we, in some sectors, y'all need to, you know, grow up. Talking to the UK right now. I love the UK, I gotta say that straight up, but I heard this and it does not bode well. It does not make me hard. It gets me quite the opposite, which is extremely difficult for me. It's a condition. I should probably see a doctor because I'm like hard all the time. But this got me a little softer than reg. Not completely soft, but still softer than I'd like it to be. The UK said they're going to be suspending intelligence sharing with the US because they've seen a couple of boats blow up in the Caribbean, and now they're like, oh, we don't know how we feel about these drug boats getting blown up, US. You share your intelligence with the US, all right? We are a team, god damn it. Don't forget, Five Eyes and all. Five Eyes and, you know, just global intelligence sharing is extremely important. Just because you saw a couple of ships getting blown up doesn't mean you gotta, you know, clutch your pearls and just want to, oh, we're not a part of this. This is what is going on, governor, with all these boats. Oh, let's sit down and you blow up to get in on the fun, get in on the action. How many times in your lifetime have you blown up a boat? Zero, I bet, zero. And now we're doing it. It's fun. Get in on the action, all right? Most of them are drug cartels. This is what I read and see. So I'm going to take that and say most of them are probably drug cartels and drug traffickers, all right? And blowing up boats is extremely fun. Only seen in movies. This is real life though, so we get to do. So join in on the fun. This is not something you used to spend intelligence sharing over. And need I remind you that I, again, treated myself to watching 3 James Bond movies in the past week or so. And if I'm not mistaken, in Casino Royale, what did we do together? We combined forces, all right? 007 was short on the loot. Who came in with the loot? We came in with the loot, motherfucker, so don't you ever forget it. Who got the loot? We got the loot, and we will fund one another, and it's fun time. Get it. You blow up a boat and tell me you're not having fun. Watch bricks of cocaine just jump out of the, get into the water and start swimming for their lives. Nothing more exhilarating than watching little packages of cocaine trying to swim their way back to shore. It's the cutest, wildest thing you'll ever see. So please don't deprive yourself and the rest of the world of this, especially during these times. It's oh man, you gotta be out of your mind if you think you're gonna be suspending intelligence sharing with us. So put on your big boy trousers and step up and share some intel. God damn it, what do you know that we need to know? Or you wanna know anything? Will you tell us first what you know, and then we'll tell you what we know. But you know how to do it. Intel sharing. Just ass to ass, sliding of information back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Something happened that caught my attention. I'm sure it might have caught yours as well. Russia just released the first images of their first humanoid robot. And it tipped over on stage and fell on the grand unveiling of this first humanoid robot. And, this is... It's totally not embarrassing at all. It could have happened to anybody. I'll say this. It could have happened. It happens to the best of us. So if you're pro-Russian government under Putin's regime, I just want to let you know that this is completely normal. Happens to all great robot manufacturers. I mean, you wouldn't be able to catch any of our robots falling because our robots are the best. But again, no shame. This is in no shape or form a reflection of Putin's manhood. Although this is not me saying this. This is just internets and the street stalking. Some people say there's a direct correlation between your robotics and your manhood. So, I mean, I personally wouldn't be embarrassed or feel any shame about it. And neither should you, okay? Getting a robot to walk on stage and do his thing is an extraordinary task, and it's complicated, and it takes a lot of God, so no, it's not embarrassing. I'm telling you right now, it happens to most men who are above the age of 40 on a regular basis. So and to be honest with you, I think it's all marketing and how you frame it. To the average novice viewer, it might seem like the robot is falling, but the robot was actually mimicking a Slavic stumble that happens around, 4:37 in the morning after a night of raving and listening to some doomer music and just sniffing a couple of, questionable substances. But that's, again, if you're not stumbling, crouching down on the sidewalk, having a cig and, getting up to do the good work the day after, the robot was just simply, it's a Slavic robot. So please, not embarrassing. I mean, I don't see it that way. I personally don't, but some people might have a different opinion. Some people might see this and be like, yo, if it comes down to the robot wars, the robot armies, we got it on lockdown. So like low-key Russia, if you need any help, you know who to call. Because we makes the best robots up in this bitch. Check out this Optimus, dude. It does everything. Masturbates in a corner while it folds your clothing and changes your car's oil. So not to say that we're here to compare and say, you know, one's better or one's worse, but I mean, some people might, again, not me. I wouldn't say this is embarrassing. I say that this is just a different way of doing it. No one's gonna remember this. Literally, no one will remember this. It's fine. It's completely okay. We're all superpowers in this world. Oh God. Oh God. Excuse me. We're all equally capable and everybody's equally terrified of everyone's robots. Seriously though, it's okay. What else is going on? On another front, around the world, not to say that this is again a competition of any sort, but if it comes to bridge building and bridges working, these bridges, we're taking a trip to China, where a bridge that got, just unveiled to the public and started to, be used, it collapsed after a few days of it being unveiled once again. This isn't a competition as to see who's got the better infrastructure, but like low-key, this is, I won't say it's embarrassing, because I'm not that guy. This isn't a competition about whose bridges are the hardest, the sturdiest, and safest of bridges, but like low-key, that's so fucking embarrassing. God, that sucks to be you. Some people might say that. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. I say that, hey, this could happen to anyone. Bridges get built and fall apart all day, every day. I mean, again, some people say that this has got nothing to do with other things. This is by no stretch of the imagination a reflection of one's manhood and or womanlyhood and or just capability of producing offspring, but like low-key, might as well just get a transition right now. God, it's so embarrassing. I wouldn't say any of this, of course, but some people might. You know who to call if you need some help with your bridges. God, oh man. I mean, what were they held up with chopstick? Some people might say that. God, it happens to the best of us. And it's actually good on another, from a different perspective, it helps to get rid of stereotypes of, Asians being good at math, science, and engineering, because the results speak for themselves, low-key. Again, it's okay. It happens literally. We build bridges that collapse all the time, dude. It's so normal. God. Simultaneously in China, I think they just banned a couple of gay dating apps, which makes it difficult for the gays out there to go there and do gay stuff. Thinking about it, that's kind of, that's a lot of blue balling the population if you think about it. Again, I love my Chinese. It's funny how governance works sometimes. Because you have the one-child policy, you get rid of all the girls, create a mass population that's mainly male, and then you have a large number of males who don't have access to enough females. Probably gonna end up with more gay dudes, and then all of a sudden get rid of gay dating apps, and all of a sudden your bridge classes, God, it's so embarrassing. Some people might say it's embarrassing. I wouldn't, because I personally don't feel any shame or embarrassment myself, so neither should you. Oh, God. It's okay. Completely normal. Oh, my Japanese hoes. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got off the internet, some of Japanese scrolls. What? We're here and we got a suspicious package that arrived at a US Air Force One base. So there are multiple ones, right? It's not just one, is it? It's suspicious package nonetheless arrived at the Air Force One base, okay? And some people opened it up and some people got sick and we're trying to figure out who it was and what it was. But this, again, not an expert on suspicious packages, but if you see, low-key, if you see like reg packages on a reg, all right? There's reg packages, you know, boxes of sorts, like doing regular, coming in on getting dropped off by a mailman or a mail woman, a tranny male person, a male woman, a female male delivery. I believe that, sending postcards, receiving letters. Some might say that it had a huge hand in the whole, transhumanist movement because one second you got males delivering males, for males, by males. Next thing you know, put the females in delivering the males. Confuses a lot of people, but we're not here to get into those shenanigans here. I'm just here to say that this suspicious package arrived at the U.S. Air Force One, U.S. Air Force One base in the U.S. All right, people opened it up. You need to watch for things. If you see a package, arriving separately from all the other packages, kind of like lingering outside the base, lighting up a cig, just, holding an umbrella, lighting up another cig, drinking a little cup of coffee, got a little pocket watch. Who has to think about that? Which package has a pocket watch? It's 2026 almost. The notes you should be mentally taking yourself. If package arrives and it's got a pocket watch, maybe it's a little sus. Okay. God. If that package is, coming in onto the base, skipping out, low-key going outside, making associations and friendships that are, once again, questionable, late at night meetings, God knows where in some back alley, getting head from who knows what. No judgment here, but that's a suspicious package, okay? When all the other packages are tucked in at night, when bud time comes and it's time for the package to go to sleep and catch some Z's, your package is outside playing dice with the big boys. Maybe the package is a little bit sus, okay? If the package arrives and is, anglais, if you know what I mean, me no parle no anglais, if a little bit of the, I don't know what is going on. If the package is, maybe that package needs to be vetted a little bit more carefully. I don't know, I got here, mister. I just a little innocent package. I get here, I don't know how I got here. Ask the male or the female who dropped me off. I don't know. I smoke a little cigarette while you figure it out. I'm a normal, regular package. And that's how you know the package is sus, dude. If the package is always blending in, sus. Package is supposed to be a little bit different every once in a while. If it just comes and it looks a little bit too similar to the other packages, then maybe that package needs to be a little bit checked out prior to open and get the hazmat suits on. You know the drill. Lube it up. Enter from the rear. The package has a butterfly knife, then maybe that package is a little bit, sure, might have gone through something in its earlier days, but no need to be bringing in any sort of weaponry into the Air Force Base, okay? A little bit sus, package. A little bit sus. To back up a little bit for a second while we figure this out. Call the authorities. Where are the authorities? And call even more authorities. Circle of authorities. You know, put the package in a little bit of a, confined area. Put it in the basement, turn off the lights. We'll come and check on you in a few hours. But low-key, don't. Suss them out. Get them to sweat it out. Get that package and be talking if you know what I'm talking about. With the gosh. So yeah, it's a little bit of sus package. I hope nobody got seriously hurt or injured. But yeah, check these damn packages, dude. Don't just, we're pros. How are we supposed to be? Still we get some, scan that shit, son. Scan it. We're all the dogs. We're all the canines. We're supposed to be sniffing this shit out. And other areas where, caught my attention, I'm not sure if anybody else noticed out there, but like low-key, did we just, whilst all this shenanigan was, the shenanigans that was popping off in China with the bridge collapsing and the gay apps being, taken down, if I'm not mistaken, we just got a rocket in Florida airspace. And some authorities may have suggested that allegedly it might be a Chinese rocket. Did we just get Chinese rockets in the Florida airspace, bruv? Did we just get some of that? Because is that allegedly, I don't know, but did we or did we not? Because that shit is, you do not come into our airspace and just, this is not just this airspace. You don't get into another man's or woman's airspace with just a willy-nilly. Did we just, so what's going on over there with these rockets? Is that, because if this shit is about to pop off, then you just let your boy know, or somebody else rather, wait, way up high, somebody way up high, let them know that it's about to pop off or something's going on with these rockets. Because you had some balloons, then there were some mysterious drones that nobody knows about, and all of a sudden you get these rockets in there. Because if you want rockets in your airspace, you just let us know. All right, US and Canada are standing strong and hard. Again, we may have gotten a little bit soft because we got exposed to a few things, but we get hard extremely quick, all right? Recovery time on this bitch is extremely concerning. You're just fucking right there. Back up. So, I don't know what the deal is with this Chinese rocket in our airspace, but if you think you can put up a couple of drones and, put on a dragon show and, flaunt your drones and you fly by your rockets in our airspace, you got another thing coming. Are we gonna put any drones, or do we fly any balloons or drones or rockets in their airspace? We should probably do that right now. Right now, we should do it. Just as just because you can't be just coming up in here and putting up rockets, and you might as well be, God, no condom or anything, just a loose rocket in our airspace, trying to impregnate our airspace. Because if you want that, we will do that. We will do that same thing to you. We will put balloons up in your airspace. We will get some giant ass rockets. We got Elon and we got Jeff Bezos, this Blue Origin right now. All right. We're on the precipice of putting factories up in the orbit and going to Mars to put our data centers up in that bitch. So just remember what's going on over here and what's we're all equal in the superpower game of equal superpower. Your bridge collapsed. God, it's so embarrassing. All right, so I'm just saying, if we need to put up a couple of rockets, then we'll put up a couple of rockets if need be. If it's nothing, then don't mind me. I'm just saying rockets in an airspace is a little bit too close for comfort. I like my airspace empty, except for, just regular flights and all and stuff that we do. But outside of that, foreign rockets in our airspace makes me a little bit just... An Italian reporter or a writer or a journalist just recently reported or wrote or just said out loud to a bunch of people, and allegedly in the 90s in Bosnia and Herzegovina, or just Bosnia, just call it Bosnia then. There was a conflict, there was a war in the 90s, in the early 90s in Bosnia. I don't know much about it, but apparently, allegedly, according to this beautiful Italian man, there were sniper tourists and human safaris going on in Bosnia. And this is basically people, privileged, wealthy, affluent people who used to pay and go to Bosnia during the war. And they like to shoot and they like to be snipers. And they hunted humans, apparently. You could pay $90,000 and you could hunt down a human, like a dog. Like a dirty dog, you'd hunt him down, and people apparently did that allegedly. It's 2025. A lot of weird stuff has been going on, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, human safaris, sniper tourism happened in the 90s. Apparently, people paid, and you could probably pay more and get children too. 90,000, I think, is for just an average adult. I think you could pay more and get children, and that's has it stopped or is this still going on? That's out, forget war itself, don't forget war, but war happens, and that's killings and war happen all the time, but regular outsiders coming in and paying to hunt down people, that shit is, if we're going to be doing it, I don't want to say that this podcast is brought to you by a human safari or sniper tourism, but if we're all just conducting business, then this podcast is brought to you by human safaris and sniper tourism. If you'd like to hunt down other humans, a lot of, don't go to outside sources where you might be getting, a bad deal. They'll take innocent people. We make sure to vet our people. They're all criminals. The people you will be hunting down are all criminals, and that's fair game. Our judicial system makes sure that they're extremely guilty. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the place that they're in. So they're guilty human beings and they should be dead anyway. So we created that together. We're still in the works. It's still getting, needs to be ironed out a little bit, but it's a thing. We can make it happen. Live stream it. Just saying, people are making money, 90,000 a pop. Don't knock it if you've not tried it. How do you know you wouldn't have fun? Criminals, I'm talking criminals, murderers, rapists, running, all right? And you get to shoot them. It'll be a lot of fun. We can have it at different locations. This one was in Bosnia, all right? You're like, that kind of thing's only reserved for high elite Illuminati members. And then maybe so. Well, we're trying to give access to everybody as we move forward into the age of more transparency or whatever. We'd like to offer more services to regular everyday folks as well, because why not? You shouldn't just be extremely wealthy in order to get to hunt people. You should be able to put down a down payment and then pay it off month to month. $100,000 to low-key, if you got it in you want to spend the money and it's a legit bagger, you should be able to do it. It's a lot of fun. Maybe we'll make it into a game. Maybe we'll make it we'll give you 6 hours to hunt them down and they don't have any weapons. Should you fail to kill them within the first 6 hours, then maybe they'll get a weapon too, just to kind of be let's spice it up so we can bet on it as well, because who knows, if they do happen to kill you, will they be set free? Yes, because that makes the rules of the game a little bit more exciting. So apparently this happened in Bosnia. Again, we're trying to get it going all around the world. It'll be fun for everyone. Of course, adults only. I don't want to tell you that you can bring your kids. This is one, I hate to break it to you, this is one of those things, especially reserved for adults. If you want to have some full-blown, just adult fun, smoke cigars, drink a little bit of whiskey, wear a nice little coat, you know what I'm talking about. with the elbow pad, with the, you know, with the leather elbow patches, and, you know, a little scarf, a little flower, a little scarf, little, you know, just a little shotgun, and, you know, high boots, some high boots, you know what I'm talking about, thigh high boots. Yeah, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of G-string action, a little bit of the old cocking on the old shotgun, a little bit of the old shells, if you know what I'm talking about, not by the seashore, but by your cute little feetsies and those cute little boots, because we're going hunting now. It's gonna be fun. Could you do it on horseback? Again, everything is available as long as you're willing to pay for it. We do have a tier system, okay? Extra 20 grand will get you a horse. You're like, I don't want to splurge that much. 5 to 10 grand will get you a donkey. Not as quick, but it's a fun ride. It is a fun ride. You know, 115K, you get a donkey, a shotgun, and you get to hunt down a rapist. Who's in? I know. I mean, if Shark Tank is not just, you know, if the taint of the sharks isn't like looped up right now by all the pre-cum due to this business concept, I don't know what will get them to have that moistened pre-cummy labia, you know. If this doesn't get your tits hard, Shark Tank, is it still around? I don't know. I don't know what will, to be honest with you. This is a great idea. Human safaris. Sniper tourism. You know, work on your aim, because everybody's like, yeah, just put a target in your backyard. It's not the same as a live target. It's just not. You gotta practice. Well, nothing says practice like the real thing, and that's when we step in. So you're welcome out there. Ever wanted to get out of a situation but didn't know how? Introducing ass seltzers, or seltzers for your ass. That's right. If you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation and you need to leave, you need to have a little bit of an Irish exit, but you're like, oh, I just need an excuse to get out. Take our specifically designed seltzers and stick it up your ass. Next thing you know, give it 10-15 minutes and your ass is foaming. There's a great excuse for you to now leave that party, that meeting, that family gathering, whatever it may be. An ass seltzer will alleviate your pain of having to put up with that company right now. Get out right now by simply shoving a seltzer up your ass. You're welcome. Females, of course, we're working on this. You'll still have to shove it up your ass, but we are working on a pill, a seltzer that's designed to go up the vagina. The science is actually much more difficult than you'd think. You're like, oh, if you gotta figure it out for the rectum, it should be just as easy to figure out a way to put a seltzer up a puss. Again, from the outside, it looks super easy. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think that just because we made a seltzer specifically for the anus, that we could have a seltzer ready to go for the vag today. Well, it takes time, okay? We like to test our products. We're not just gonna go and release it to the public en masse and be like, we're not gonna take any responsibility for this because we're a big company. Look at the size of our cock. We're not like that. So these ass seltzers will, again, get you out of any situation. Parent-teacher conference, get out of there. They'll figure it out. Seltzer up the ass. Boss, just fucking chatting it up in your face. Put a seltzer up your ass. Oh God, boss, I gotta get out of here. My ass is foaming. See you later. You know? Your wife talking to you about the chores around the house. Seltzer up the ass and bounce, homie. Get out of here. I've been hanging around the house too much. Ladies, up the ass seltzer will get you to bounce. You know what I'm talking about. Get a hobby, Jim. Get a hobby. That's seltzer ass, or ass seltzers. Still trying to figure out what's the better marketing, but the product is available now. You can use it. Again, foam out the asshole. Get out right now. What else is going on? This one is, man, have I told you? Yes, you know who you are. You're so hot. You're so hot when you're edging with the Epstein files. Oh God, it gets me so hard. You are so hot with the edging and the blue balling and the teasing and the gooning of the old Epstein files. What is going on with the Epstein files? Once again, back in the news cycle once again. How many years has it been? How many years is this? What even is it at this point? What even is this? I've had my thoughts about it. Is it a psyop? It could possibly be what kind of psyop is it though? Distraction? For sure. What kind of distraction? Reality matter is, are there people doing the pedophilic activities around the world? Yes. Are there, high up people who are doing it? Yes. Has this whole situation been extremely sus? Yes. Is he still alive? Probably. I would say probably. And if he did die, definitely not by suicide. Questions remaining. Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe she's been moved to a nicer prison where she's getting that quality treatment right now. How is she still alive? How is this bitch still alive? They're gonna murk her, aren't they? They're gonna murk her soon, right? Because she's never gonna talk. She's never gonna talk. There's no way this bitch is still alive. And they're just gonna keep her alive and have her talk and spill the beans, whatever the beans are at this. So who knows? Because the Democrats just came and allegedly released a bunch of emails. Parts of it were redacted. It turns out it was just stuff that we already knew. Nothing new has emerged, but it just keeps. Oh man, talk about hoaxes are red, hoaxes are blue. The way you edge with these Epstein files have gotten me not hard. There you go. That one doesn't quite rhyme the way I wanted it to, but you get the gist. Hoaxes are red, hoaxes are blue. The way you edge with the Epstein files, as if we don't got a clue, as if we don't got a poo. There you go. That's better. Hoaxes are red, hoaxes are blue. The way you edge with the Epstein files makes me want to poo. Blue, poo, goo, poo. That's, wagwan with them Epstein files. At this point, because they just want to put pressure on one another and blame it on one another. Oh, this guy's name's been in an email, and this guy's other name's been in an email. Figure it out already. Figure it out. It's not that day. You just put people who you have in custody and just have an honest chat with them. Unless what is going to happen? Either free her at this point. Free Diddy, by the way, which I heard he's been drinking wine from the toilet or whatever. He's been drinking, prison juice, and that could be code for, who knows what. But I believe the sentence might be altered because they found him drinking in the prison toilet wine. That shouldn't impact your sentence, does it? Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to because you're in prison. You're not supposed to be getting wine. It's not good wine though, right? It's just made of other guys' jizz and a little bit of fermented grapes and probably soda. Who knows what it is? But he's been drinking some of that wine. They caught him on tape. Sentence might be getting in a little bit longer. He might not get any, easing of the old sentence or punishment or whatever. So, wonder what else he's doing in there. Is he doing any gay stuff in prison? Like people talk about how I can't imagine Diddy going in and fighting anybody. He's been cushy, embedded with Hollywood, and these guys are not fighters. They're not, we're talking about prisoners. He's not he's probably taking it up the ass by now. Probably, right? Happens to most people, as I assume. I don't know. So you hear these things. Maybe that's why he had to drink. Maybe he had to drink because he took it up the ass. Good God. What have we been talking about? That's right, Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a cushy prison right now. Better prison. She's been relocated, I believe, in a prison in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of yard time, a lot of exercise, one-on-one lesbian sesh. A little bit of the old dildo up the vag, a little bit of the old sucking on the old nips, because somebody's we're in here anyway. Let's kill some time. What else is going on? Yeah, the old Epstein thing is, because the Dems came and said, Trump's been mentioned in an email. Nothing new, literally nothing new. But then it doesn't help for anyone, including President Trump, to go and call this whole thing a hoax. Again, what is going on at this point? It's been so long. No one knows anything. No new information. All you just get is like thousands of pages of documents and And meanwhile, you have this bitch who allegedly procured underage people for clients. Who are the clients? Who engage in the sexuals? Where are the tapes? Where are the files? Why is she in prison if there's no files? What's the deal with these files? I mean, you either did the dirt or you didn't. What's with all the files? Where are all the files? Yeah, it doesn't bode well. It just makes everybody, it makes you wonder, because you want to give, people benefit of the doubt, and you want to clear some names, and you want to put people who, did the dirt behind bars, if anybody did the dirt. Who knows? Were they all in on it? That's what at least it makes you wonder, is like, why it just seems like a really shitty cover up at this point. So it just makes you wonder if was it combined with the human safaris as well? Was it worse than we think? Were they younger than? Is it far worse? That's why it's getting covered up. So that's what makes your mind go to places where you're like, well, just let's figure it out. Let's figure out what's the truth, what's the fact. Is it worse? Were you guys killing people too? Were you hunting people in the go for a little bit of, you start off at a resort, you go to an island, have a nice little breakfast, you get a little sucky during breakfast of age sucky for breakfast. Come have a fun time, get sucky at breakfast, everybody's properly aged. At noon, around lunchtime, we have a light lunch, and then we break off into little tiny groups where we do hunting of other humans. We do sniper tourism till the afternoon, build up an appetite, have a light dinner, then engage in, sexuals with the underage. Is that what it is? What else are you doing, sick fucks? What else are you doing? No judgment here, of course, no judgment. Let's just get it all. I just want you to feel comfortable. No judgment here. I'll wait for the comments. Get in there. All right, a little bit of judgment. I just had to give him a little bit of time. You got to play it like, good cop, bad cop. No judgment here. You can tell us anything. Tell us. Is it what could be worse than that? Is it worse than, was there no children, and was it just weird ass adults getting together? Was it just like it was fecal play, wasn't it? It was a lot of fecal play, right? You guys were smearing shit all over each other. There's tape of you guys probably smearing and eating shit, isn't it? Somebody was eating shit. What weren't they? That's probably the worst thing, right? Outside of underage sexuals and whatnot. Somebody was eating. Everybody must eat poop, right? Probably, right? Humiliation rituals, because your mind just goes to places. You're like, what is it then? And if it's nothing, if it's just a big thing, if it's just a big, again, psyop just to distract from for all the ongoing wars and unaffordability of housing, this, that, and the other, the actual issues, then who knows? It might be. But it is interesting. Low-key, it is interesting. Just tell us. No judgment. If there's any human sacrifices, no judgment. If you are praying to Satan in a circle, if you are drawing pentagrams on the ground, if you are praying to Baal, if you are trying to raise the dead, it's okay. Just tell us. If you are doing satanic rituals, it's cool, man. Everybody likes it, everybody does it, more people do it than you think, and we're here for your Illuminati rituals. And just, is it worse than feces? Is it worse than fecal play? God, it's animal fecal play, isn't it? Good God, they're rolling around in animal fecal matter, probably, right? No food, it's just probably just get hungry, eat fecal matter in rows and burn owl effigy. Who knows? Because your mind goes to places. You're like, what is it? Could be just regular business talk, probably, and just regular people just having regular chats. But you know, there's got to be a little bit of, for all that exclusivity, there's got to be a little bit of fun that's, you know, the forbidden fruit. You got to have something for the fellas and the ladies who have it all. So probably fecal matter. I'm gonna go say fecal matter. That's, you know, so figure it out. Figure it out. Underground labs with actual aliens inside of them and fecal play. It's underground aliens with fecal play, isn't it? Motherfuckers got the fecal play up the yin yang, son of a bitch. Not telling us about aliens and smearing shit all over each other's faces. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Guess whose jizz it is? Is that what kind of games you guys play? Just everybody jizz in a circle and taste it and try to figure out whose jizz you just tasted? Is that what it is? Blindfold one guy and have him taste test all the jizz and try to guess whose jizz it was that he just swallowed? Is it that? Is it that? Have a human pinata? Yeah? Jizz play? Fecal play? Guys get together, you know, blend a couple of babies, get their juices, you know, piss in it, put a little bit of fecal matter and jizz and vaginal juice, put it in a blender, blend it up and drink it. Is that what you guys do? Sick fucks. We love you. We love you. No judgment here. Yeah, but calling it a hoax, calling the whole thing a hoax is a little bit, it doesn't look good for anyone. It just makes you wonder things. Even people who are like, man, no. So we'll see. Eventually time might, you know, reveal a few more other stuff, you know, that might shine light on this whole subject matter. But in the meantime, it's a saga that goes on. And again, the way you look very hot, the way you are edging with this whole Epstein file thing. So it's kind of a turn on, low-key, not gonna lie to you. So I get it, because you can't rush into things. You gotta take your time. I get it. It's foreplay. I get it. It makes sense. I like to take my time too. Thank you. What else is going on, man? What else is going on? So you guys, like, you get busy with this stuff, then you might lose sight of what might be going on right underneath our noses. And we're taking a trip right now to Germany. The beautiful Germans, I believe, are potentially in talks or discussions of getting conscription back on, getting ready, preparing for maybe World War III, maybe, is what I heard. Getting the troops back up. The troop numbers need to be risen to get those troop numbers back up because of apparently alleged impending threat from Russia. But again, I wouldn't be too worried if I saw those videos of those robots, because my God, the way they fell. I wouldn't be too worried, but again, I don't know. It's again, if it's gonna happen, just, you know, let us not be distracted. I think the main takeaway from this piece of information is, if Germany were to get involved and there is a potential World War III, the biggest question on everybody's mind is, of course, will Germany be able to replicate or have an equal amount of success when it came to costumes and outfits as they did in World War II, despite the fact that they lost World War II, where if we're talking specifically about outfits and just, you know, army attire, you know, just gear, if you will, the Germans probably won that one in terms of, like, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Germans if there's going to be a World War III. I think that's what's on everybody's minds. And yeah, because Hugo Boss knocked it out of the park with those outfits. They were this, again, we know what happened and we know exactly what is right and wrong. And, but putting that aside, look, examining the outfits and the costumes, the entire, the Nazi uniforms were lit. You cannot deny it. It's undeniable. So this is a lot of pressure for the Germans. The third time going in, if there's going to be, will the outfits, who's stepping in to make the outfits this time? Will it be once again Hugo Boss that does the design? Is it going to be some, unknown underground fashion designer who will come out? And could they even live up to this? There's a lot of pressure again, once again. So everybody's eyes are on Germany and what might happen in the next little while. But of course, if it's nothing and it's just one of those things where we gotta, we gotta get the troops back up just to, because there's no jobs, everything's gonna be replaced by, you gotta have somebody, you gotta go fight people, you gotta have, because people are complaining about conductors sleeping behind the wheel. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. If it's going to be, everything's going to be automated, you're going to have to occupy yourself doing something. I think we're all going to eventually end up doing some sort of, human safari and sniper tourism, which is why I decided to get in ahead of the curve if I could and just be like, you know what, we're going to trailblaze this bitch and spearhead it and provide a service for people. I'm telling you right now, if you sign up 150 G's, hunt down a few people. Some people get killed. Money needs to be made. Transactions need to be made. The world needs to spin, and so on and so forth. So get in on the fun instead of being like, oh, we're going to get in our feelings and not blow up any boats or not conduct any human safaris or, get all judgy with a little bit of fecal play. And it's like, at the end of the day, what are we even doing here? So, just again, I believe in the Germans. I think they might be able to do, again, a lot of pressure. Will they be able to pull it off? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what these designers are creating. It's an interesting, it's one of the most interesting times. One of the most interesting, fascinating times. I wouldn't want to be alive at any other time. It's exhilarating. It's better than movies and stories. It's the real shit that happens. It's more exciting. Like right now, they just caught a beautiful Russian spy super hacker. They call him a super hacker. They caught this guy, but he wasn't just a super hacker. So if you're like a super hacker, you're like a spy, a super hacker, and he was a poisoner too. This guy is the guy that poisoned Sergei. I forget his last name. Sergei Skripal. Sergei Skripal. That's right. This guy got poisoned along with his daughter in the UK in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't die, I think. And yeah, they caught the guy who did this. And isn't it? Oh, imagine being that guy. Imagine being that guy. Imagine being that beautiful Russian spy poisoner. Is it like? Do they train all the spies to do hacking and poison, or is each section by itself like a completely? Is it compartmentalized? Is it like, do they multitask? Is it versatile, or does one know how to do all three and other stuff, or is it just like focusing on one thing and do it really well? I guess he's probably a multitasker because he didn't do his job well, because that guy, his daughter survived and he got caught. So I guess must be not that good. So I don't know why they call him a super hacker. Maybe he's good at super hacking, but you're like, try poisoning. He didn't succeed. And that's a job out there. So if you're like wondering, what can I do, man? If you got fired because you're snoozing at you could be poisoning people. Like, you could be super hacking. You could be, and poisoning people is, it's I would assume if you're a Russian poisoner, offer people drinks. Here, have a sip of this little vodka. It's regular vodka. Have a little sip of this vodka, and we do a little zip. Together, have the sip of this. I've already had some of my vodka. You have a little sip of this vodka. Is there any poison in this vodka? Of course not. There is no poison in this vodka. What is this silliness you're talking? Just drink the vodka, comrade. Go ahead, drink it all up. Look at me drinking all the vodka as he pours it over his lips, but nothing goes down his throat. Look, I just drank the whole thing right in front of you. Drink. We're all drinking. No one's drinking. It's just you holding a glass filled to the rim with poison. Drink. I'm telling you, it's completely safe. Drink it. Look at everybody having a good time drinking. Just regular, non-poisoned vodka. Look at me once again. Drink. You're like, it's going down your face. Nothing's going in your throat. Why are you drinking like that, you weirdo? The point is, it's difficult. You having trouble going to sleep? How about trying a little bit of this chloroform? Come here. I mean, did I say chloroform? Come. Did you just sneeze? Let me provide you with a napkin over your nose. Come here. Let me put this napkin over your nose. Look at me. I use napkin over my nose all the time. Once again, holds the napkin away from his nose. But look at me using the napkin from my... It's a thing. It's a thing. I never sleep without chloroform. Why would you try any other way? It's nice. Try it out. Try it out. You gotta try different things. So they caught him. They caught him in Thailand, apparently. And that's exciting. That's really exciting. Be a lot of stress though, trying to poison people. Your whole life is consumed by just making drinks and getting people to drink it, or like, trying to like, get people to sniff powders and shit, or blow powders in their face, or like inject people with shit. A lot of liquids. They probably don't talk about that, but a lot of liquids, just, liquids and substances. Try to get it onto people, into people, around people. I don't know how they do it. It's fascinating though. It is fascinating. Is there poisoning school? Is there like a poison? Is there like a section of spy school, intelligence, and they do like how to poison and not poison yourself? How many of them poison themselves? Good God, I would probably end up like Jesus. I'd be pretty good at it. I think I'd beat. I mean, I might poison myself in in the early. So I'm not gonna say it without having done it. I might poison myself a little bit. You should probably poison yourself a little bit, right? Just to be like, how does it feel, and also get used to it in case you yourself get poisoned. And that's why I would end up poisoning myself, not because I'd make a mess of things, because I want to properly train. I mean, it's fun. It is fun. Let us take a trip over here to Japan. Once again, everything comes full circle. Japanese hose. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got it off the internet, that's how my Japanese scrolls. In Japan, apparently, a beautiful female bitch. This bitch dumped her fiance, I guess, because they were engaged for 3 years and married a ChatGPT character thing that she made. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for it. I'm embracing moving forward, as I've always done in the past, but even more so. Embracing, saying yes to everything as much as possible, and just saying, you know what? If it makes you happy, then it makes you happy. Then do it. Dump that son of a bitch. Dump him and marry the ChatGPT. It's inevitable. All these things are inevitable. It's becoming more and more prevalent. Of course, I have not seen it in person, but we do hear about these stories. I wonder how much of it is, I guess there's some people doing it out there. And again, it's hassle-free when you can program your robot to talk to you the way you want to talk to it and have it respond in a way where it's pleasing to you all the time. It's a personalized yes man. Always saying, do I have the perkiest of tits? Of course you do, sweetheart. Meanwhile, your tits, you know full well they're not the perkiest. They haven't been perky for 5-10 years, maybe. Not as perky as they used to be. Is my cock the biggest cock? And yes, it is. It'll come back until you've got the biggest cock, and you're like, yes, I knew it. Meaning you don't have the biggest cock, but it'll tell you got the biggest cock, and the best attitude, and the best outlook, and it's nice. It's good in a sense. I suppose that once this takes place more and more, and they get embedded, the super intelligence and the robots, once they become available en masse, I think it's going to be normalized. You're going to get used to the fact that some people are going to be in relationship with robots. If we're in it, then we're in it, okay? If we're saying yes, then we're saying yes. Completely get used to it. The good thing is you can always turn them on and off. That's the good thing, Whereas you can't, let's say your buds, your friends, all right? You're cool, you love each other, everything's great. One of you gets into a relationship. Now you gotta be like, is this gonna be a cool person or not? With a robot, it's gonna be cool because it's basically designed to reflect your buddy, your mate. And it's not gonna have its own, varied opinions and, outlook on life. You're gonna get along. It's gonna be much easier. You're gonna be very satisfied. It's gonna be good. So marry the ChatGPT characters and stay hard, stay wet, as I've always said. And remember, once again, I'll leave you with this, because I know it touched me when I thought about it. I'll share it once again in case anybody missed it. Japanese hose. Watch me get on my Japanese toes. Put you in a tea house, give you some Japanese rolls. Got it off the internet. That's on my Japanese scrolls. Until next time. Peace out. Get out of here.